So in this next video, I'd like to explain the standard communication model of public speaking. This is where we have the source, or the information that is being delivered. We have a transmitter. This is the means of technology or the way that the information is being traveled to. Then we have the noise. This is any kind of interference that goes on along the way of the news being transmitted. This is any kind of social language barrier. You can have a technological difficulty. And then we have the receiving end. This is the source of media or technology that is being used to deliver the message. This is the NBC app. This is the Fox News TV station. And then we have the destination. This is the question that is posed. It's the who is it reaching? And that's the everyday, ordinary people when it comes to a news story. If you ever played the game Telephone, this is where we have like the two tin cans, and the one tin can is going to be the source, where you're saying something into the tin can. It's being transmitted through that wire, and then that noise is coming from just difficulties that the words aren't going exactly through the wire. Then we have the receiving end, and that is the other guy with the tin can who's listening to what you're saying. Then we have the destination. That's the actual guy. Who is it reaching? It's reaching that guy on the other end of the tin can telephone. And so if I could do an analogy for that, we'll do the mainstream media / CNN model. This is a current issue with Trump talking about fake news. So we'll have the source. The source is going to be your everyday news story. Let's say it's about Trump with the relief efforts in Texas. And then a journalist finds out about it. They're going to be the transmitter. They're going to write a story. They're going to write a great story about what he's doing. And then we have noise. For this noise example, I'll use personal opinion. And then this noise is kind of a social barrier at that. And this is where we get opinions coming in. And then it goes to the receiver. The receiver is going to be your CNN TV station at home, where you hear the nasty story that someone wrote about how Trump's not doing anything in Texas because it went from the source of Trump being in Texas helping out with Hurricane Harvey relief. It goes to the transmitter. This is the news story written by the journalist. We get the opinion of her or him that's writing the news article. Then we go to the receiver. This is TV, CNN. And then we have the destination. This is the everyday, ordinary American who's hearing about all this news that's going on in the world. And so for the mainstream media concept, we have at the final destination is where people hear finally about the news story. So we'll start with Trump being in Texas. And then we go to the journalist who dislikes Trump's opinions on something, and so they voice their own opinion by putting it through some noise throughout the news story to where it's not 100% accurate. And then we have the receiver. That's where CNN doesn't care what the journalist wrote, but they're going to produce it. And then we have the receiver from that TV that's going to the destination to you sitting on your couch at home, watching the news, just learning about what's going on in the everyday world. So this is how technology is being used in today's world throughout media, especially, and through public speaking, of how people are able to voice their own opinions on current topics, current issues, by starting with the source of news. And then it goes to the transmitter that likes to voice their opinion. Then we go to this noise. That's where things go wrong. That's where things go gray. Then we have the receiver. The receiver could be anything. It could be your news app. It could be whatever you take your news from, whatever you're listening to your friend talk in a conversation. Then we have the destination. Destination is where this is where the news is finally delivered. This is where you get to hear it. You hear it first. And it might not be 100% accurate. If you ever played the other game Telephone, where a message goes through, it never comes out at the end to be exactly what you started off with. But that's how the modern world works, and that's how we're dealing with technology in the modern world. We can call this the MSM CNN model or the fake news model.